In the second rectangle or second section here, we're going to be using complementary colors. So pick two colors to use that are across from each other on the color wheel. And then the other thing to change up in this section is the shape. So the first shape, we were cutting squares. In this video, I'll be doing triangles, but if you have a different idea, if you want to do circles, if you maybe have a hole puncher that you want to cut those out with, or have some other shape that you would like to try out, then give that a try in this next section. And then make sure that you are fading from dark to light. So I'm just going to be using yellow and purple and then black and white to help adjust the value change. But if you do have a material where there's a dark purple and a light purple, and then a dark yellow and a light yellow, you could definitely use those as well to help just emphasize that value change even more. But just using your two colors and adding black and white will help to show the value change, so that's fine. Just doing like what I have in the video here. And then also try to switch up your material. So the first section I used tissue paper and some magazine clippings. In this section I'm just going to be using construction paper and then the tissue paper for the black and white sections. So maybe try some construction paper, or again, if you can find some different shades from a magazine, if you want to do a painting on a separate piece of paper and cut up those colors that you painted. So a lot of different directions that you can take this. And then also think about the size as well for this section. So the size of my triangles are a little bit smaller than what I did for the size of my squares. So maybe try either a smaller or a bigger size than what you did before, just to see how that goes for you, how the overlap is going to look and work, and what size you're going to want to use for your final project. So definitely continue to change things up in each section to give yourself more options to choose from for your final project with seeing how those are going to work. But I started with my first color, which was purple, just filled that section in about halfway. And now I'm going to go on the other side and start overlapping and blending the purple into the yellow. So again, I'm just using a glue stick, but Mod Podge works great for this as well. So potentially just coating underneath and on top with Mod Podge. But I'm going over top of my triangles here with a little bit of glue so that I can start to fade and blend the purple and yellow together. So I'm working in layers just like what I did in the first section. So I'm not just sticking with my first layer, but I'm starting to build things back up. So I'm trying to fade out where I have my yellow mixed with the purple here. So starting to space things out a little bit in that overlap area. And then I'm continuing to add the yellow onto the other side here. So I'm going to skip forward a little bit in this video so you can see that I added yellow going all the way across, and now I'm bringing in some of the white triangles on top of the yellow to really show more of that value change. So make sure too that you, as you fade the white into your color, you're spacing them out. So you can see those triangles were spaced out a little bit versus all being cluttered in just one section. So it should be a smooth transition, smooth fade from light into dark. And now I'm jumping to the other side to add the darker values. So I'm taking some black tissue paper and just adding it right over top of the purple here. So same thing, I'm trying to overlap more where it's going to be darker, and then in the area where it fades into more of just the purple, I'm starting to space things out a little bit more. I realized that it felt a little bit too dark or too harsh of a value change, so I brought more of the purple in on top. So continue to work in those layers.